what is the perfect life? What is the perfect life? Well, of course, we're using this body and this vocabulary system, this language, and this whatever I am. It is only an interpretation of my personal view. I don't think we should be looking for a perfect life for all as the same perfect life, you see. It is in fact that, but we have an idea, we have a mind, we have a conceptual way of adapting or changing or enhancing or dismissing certain aspects of what we are capable of. And of course, this sharing of the ideal perfect life will cause controversy to those that see it differently. But that's okay, because the perfect life is to accept all controversial comments, all controversial situations, because there's nothing perfect when you have each gained some sort of qualities, qualifications, identities, titles, names, meanings, practices, cultures, religion, scientific belief, scientific knowledge, biology, your interpretation of consciousness, the soul, the spirit, so many things that we have been exposed to, the mind has exposed itself to. So we cannot make confirmation of the context or the quality of what the words mean, because all words are different, interpreted different, misinterpreted, excuse me, to the extent to say that there's nothing the same, you see. So when a speaker comes on and said everything is the same, it blasphemized and pushed to the side and said, what an idiot, But he's not talking about the mind. The mind is a vacuum of one quality divided into, segmented into separate names, separate qualities, separate energies, separate identities, separate meanings, separate. So anyway, here's the interpretation for my, or whatever I am, living what we could call a life of okayness. You see, let's not aim for perfect. Let's not aim for disastrous. Let's not aim for bliss, sat chit ananda, pure, enlightening state. Let's not also aim for misery, poverty, suffering. Let's just settle for okayness, because that's the perfect life. Is a life of contentment. And the mind says, how can a mind be content? It will envisage its own qualities. How can I be content when I have 17 kids to look after, or I have no vehicle, or I have a poor job, or I have no money, or I'm hungry, or my house is falling to bits? So how can I be content, you see? Well, the mind cannot be content with what it has created. Individuality, opposing values, different qualities. But the contentment is not something that the mind searches from an antenna to a feed, the brain. Okay, I'm listening, I'm feeding, I'm listening, I have my antenna out, it's coming in, and I'm understanding that There are hundreds or thousands of ways of interpreting what life is. But I don't get contentment, you see. The ego, that antenna of search that me, will not understand what contentment is. It will have different ideas and contextual meanings towards what contentment is. You see, contentment must mean, a laziness to just not try hard enough, or a contentment is meager to what is out there, We should be challenging for joy. We should be searching for that ultimate goal. Yeah. And the ultimate goal is attainable. But the ultimate goal will set you back on the scales balanced. New birth, Jesus calls it. You see, what is contentment? You see, when you're playing a game, a board game, and the game is competitive, let's say like Monopoly, the one who buys all the property and wins all the money is the game. So the one that wins is contented. Yeah? It is the most pleased one. The loser is also contented, just participating with the game. It's not about what street you land on. It's the ability to roll the dice. It's the ability to count around the board. It's the ability to move. It's the ability to smile. It's the ability to argue and have fun. That's the contentment, not the game, not the rules, not the regulations, not the winner or the loser. And it sounds very, that's so old-fashioned. So old-fashioned. It's all about participating, yes. No, it's not about participating. It is also about the winning and the losing. But the contentment overshadows the joy of winning. How many times have you won the game of Monopoly? And you give a big roar, yes, I won, I'm the greatest. And 15 seconds later, you're all drinking the same cup of tea, speaking about the weather. There's no gain, you see. Contentment means when there's no gains, there's no need, there's no hopes, there's no beliefs, there's no needs, no desires, no wants to win the next time. Contentment is letting life pass, falling into the trap of competitiveness or whatever it is, but realizing it's okay to play the game. It's okay to win, it's okay to lose. But it's really necessary to just move on and continue with a contented mind. But hey, maybe I'm settling for simple Buddha nature, maybe there's something, something far more attainable from maybe Christ, Have you met God? Yes, so what? That's very egoistic. Yeah, but I cannot put my finger on what it was. So how can I brag about something that I don't know in full? When I have the sports car, the new model, straight from the manufacturing plant, gleaming with the numbers and all the digits and the lights working, I can say, wow, I saw this car and I can explain to you how perfect it was. I can tell you everything about it. But when God appears, no mind can find even contentment in this. The contentment is knowing it exists. It's not knowing the information or the quality or what it is or where it is or how it can be found or what it does or what its capabilities are. It is. It's okay. It exists. That's contentment. It exists, The fears, they drop. The worries drop. Because this one cares for everything. This one sees no beginning and end to what we are. It just sees a contented transition, a transcending, a movement, a passing of its own soul, of its own willingness to share what it is with what we are. as part of that it is. Maybe you don't like contentment. Maybe you don't like Buddha nature. Maybe you don't like letting life reveal itself to you at every moment, and you're not making any effort to change it, or prove it, or justify it, or enhance it, or diminish it. You don't see negativity as positivity and positivity as negativity. You just see life as it is. The freedom to see clearly, the freedom to breathe effectively, the freedom to be healthy, the freedom to observe the mystery of life unfolding in front of your very eyes. There's no bliss state that can come close to this contentment. It is beyond what the ego says, boredom, laziness. It is in fact the nature of God, because God is contented with everything that it does. We blame it for the wars, and God says, nothing to do with me. I didn't create the wars, the humans create the wars. The humans deal with the war. The humans have to overcome war. But they can't, because they're looking for glory. They're looking for superiority. They're looking for power, control. They're looking for dominance. That side of human is accepted by the contented one. So God accepts it and says, okay, let's move on. Let's watch the wars pass. Watch the peace unfold and watch it go to war again. It's okay. It's just a game, you see. There are no winners and losers with God. How foolish to think God divides. How foolish to think God can see one superior to the other. How foolish do you think? You think Christ is much better than you? In your mind. In Christ's mind. Yeah, possibly there are some contradictions, differences. But our impression of Jesus is the same impression that you have of your partner. You would die for your partner. You would die for your children. Not in war, hopefully. Just for the glory of that contented Jesus coming into your life. As a version of I. Boring, yeah? Contented boredom. Wow.